Hi everyone, welcome to our Queendom album first listen. So we did try to film this right after we listened to the title track, but then one of my batteries decided to throw a midlife crisis tantrum and cut out on us in the middle of Knock on Wood. So we lost the footage for Pose and the first third of our reaction to Knock on Wood. So what we're gonna do today is we'll start off with some of the audio which we were able to keep from our Pose reaction. Then we'll summarize our thoughts, and then we'll just start off brand new with Knock on Wood. Yeah. Highlights of our Pose reaction. 3, 2, 1, Pose. Go. Oh. I really like the bass.
This is a really unusual aesthetic for Red Velvet.
I like that contrast, going from a syncopated bass line just to
Yeah.
hit, 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 hit.
Yeah, really driving to the chorus.
Oh yeah, baby! Using microphones? Oh, it's so interesting here, the singing over this bass.
Okay, it's the Phrygian second with major third.
Okay. It's like they took a dubstep beat, crumbled up in their hands, and just like splash it throughout the song. This thick vocal harmony is such a Red Velvet sound. Like right now I'm trying to connect it to some of their past discography. It fits in so well with their sound. Ah! I love that track so much. Okay, so as you heard, we really liked Pose. Pose is good, isn't it, Sean?
Yep, it's great. Should have been the title track.
Objection! I still feel like it makes so much sense as a B-side song. First up, why do you think it's good as a title track?
It's a lot more dynamic. Like there's some big shifts that could be big moments in a video or on stage. I know they have done a stage of this, but I imagine if it were the title track, the choreography and staging would have been a lot more dramatic than the stages they did for it as a B-side. And it also has a very catchy chorus, right? That is sometimes something that can make a B-side need to be a B-side even if it's good. I think this it might need a little more pop, like explosion at the opening for a title track, but I think very small tweaks and this is a title track. Take that!
Okay, I picture this B-side as a perfect Red Velvet B-side because when I'm thinking about, was it Peekaboo and Look? Like Look was a B-side heavily promoted along with Peekaboo. I think of Queendom and this song also as a perfect promotional pair. And that's because I'm not sure about musically, but just like concept-wise, would you have a title track where the main concept is just pose and feeling good? When Queendom is so much more than that. There's a lot more in depth that you can do with visuals and choreography. While this, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. This is like the reason why Red Velvet's discography is the best K-pop discography, is because they have B-sides like this.
They fit Kwangya into 90s love. They can fit it into Pose if they want to. Like that is less of a stretch than putting it in 90s love.
Agree to disagree? Let's see what the comment section thinks. Should Pose have been the title track, or is it just a solid as heck B-side song? Let's talk about the song, shall we?
Yeah.
Instead of well, it should
wait,
be title.
one more point I want to say.
So why is Pose so damn cool? Why is it so freaking solid as a song?
Because there's so many like transformations in it, starting from, as we talked about, like the very sparse but a little bit surprising for Red Velvet beginning. The chorus, which is like, it's a lot of stuff going on, but it doesn't have a lot of bass grounding, and there's some risers, which you mentioned in the reaction, and then at the end another second riser. In this case, actually, the post-chorus is also the catchiest vocal part, but the chorus itself is still kind of rising. And then at the end, you get the big post-chorus, and well, I guess you get the post-chorus a few times, but at the end especially, like there's the big setup and really satisfying ending.
Right. What I love so much about this song is it feels like they're playing a lot with on the beat. So Red Velvet, the rhythms that they're singing, it tends to be subdivisions. It tends to be on all the strong beats, do 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 do, and then the instrumental around that, like the risers that he mentioned, and the 1 1 1 1 flat 2 1 1 1 1 1 is a syncopated rhythm underneath, all on the offbeats. So it feels like we have this steady rock of a vocal line while the instrumental just kind of like crumbles and builds around it, and that is incredibly fun to listen to, especially then once we reach the chorus, which blossoms into this melody that I feel like I've heard before. I feel like Red Velvet sang this exact melody in a different B-side song, but the chords around it are different. So it's like we get a different shade of velvet when this melody and the harmonies appear. This song is both something that we've never heard from Red Velvet before, but it's also something that we are super familiar with Red Velvet doing. So that's why I really like this song. Shall we move on to Knock on Wood?
Yes.
Except this table, is this wood? Are we?
Yeah.
The floor, we'll knock on the floor. All right, Moonshine Sunshine. Shush. Go ahead.
3, 2, 1. Knock on wood.
The Moonshine, I feel like, came on a beat that normally isn't hit. We'll double check that afterwards. And 1 and 2 and the syncopated entrance. What I love about this first verse is we've got these high-pitched chord hits, and then it feels like the bass, the scratchy deep bass, is like almost improvising above it.
I like that little lead, the little synth lead, sort of making a counter melody in the gaps there.
Descending. I like how the vocal melody descended, but then the chords ascended. Is it working? Oh, whatever. I feel like this song is very in line with what Red Velvet released on their Summer Magic album.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, and now the scratchy bass is playing, hitting the rhythms that the higher synth did earlier, that it's doing now. Oh, they're layered in together. Oh. Woo! That chromatic.
Yeah, this is a good choice to just have this much smoother, like just snap the offbeat and then big fill or brass. I don't think how to fill when it's chords, but punchy chords leading in.
Now the bass synth is a lot more smoother or warmer. Yeah. Those little ad-libs are so cute. I'll bring in the ba-ba-ba back in. The melody is so fun! Big vocals.
Yeah.
One last time through. Oh.
Low passing.
Oh. That was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Was that 4 or 5 pot harmony on the knock on wood part, the post chorus?
I don't know. I'm not good at counting
That was
voices.
some crunchy stuff.
This sort of synth chords through this, they did repeat a lot, but it was a spicy enough progression. I didn't get bored of it.
I think the voicing changed a few times. Like they emphasized one of the notes of the chord more than others in certain section.
Yeah.
Or at least they
Yeah.
changed the timbre for it or something. But I love that chorus. The ba 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 ba, and then it changes the second half because you think that's such a fun rhythm that you think they just repeat that for the entire phrase, but then they change it up at the end.
Yeah. There are also some parts of the chorus that sit up pretty high, like where
Oh,
it
in
does
range.
That.
Wow, good job.
Yes, they sound just like them.
Yes, yes, amazing. Like Wendy, is Wendy in this room? But also no. Da, da, da. I think, is it Blue Lemonade? The pre-chorus sounds a lot like Blue Lemonade. So it has an ascending line. Okay, so this is just like ascending, starting from the same note. This is ascending, then it starts from a lower note and ascends. But I was like, wow, I'm getting some nice throwback Red Velvet vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice combination of more Red production and overall energy, but some fairly Velvet chords. Like I don't like that progression could totally fit in a Velvet song, but it's kind of the best of both sides.
The best of both sides. I like that. With that, shall we move on to Better
Yes.
Be? Hey, Andreas!
Nice.
Jinx. Skylar, we know Skylar. They've worked with Andreas before, and Michelle Wylan. 3, 2, Better Be. Okay. Some clashing overtones,
Yeah.
it feels like. It's like it's detoned a little bit.
Yeah.
Detuned.
Yeah.
What key are we in? Decide on a key.
Flat.
We're in a key now. Right? Yes. That was fun.
Nope, we're in F. Nope.
Wow. Adding that shaker-like bell thing in. We've had this kind of syncopated main rhythm of da 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 in the back, but the sound and the notes that they chose to play is what adds uniqueness to this song. And then I'm really not sure what key we're in the verses.
I think. Oh,
I'm guessing that was Andreas who wrote that.
I think overall we're in F, but
Okay.
there's a lot of stuff.
Better be my baby, you better be. Once again, there's a lot of whispering layered in with the spoken part. I love that.
We had F Libby.
How do you write a melody over this instrumental? The instrumental is so strange in interval. Hello, weird awesomeness. That was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of chromaticism for a chorus melody.
And the verses, every single time we went to the verses, it just felt like they were like, here's the 2 notes you get in the instrumental, write a melody over it.
Yeah,
and the top liner did what they could, and it was awesome.
I'm not sure this is perfect, so you in the comments may have some corrections. So I think the top parts are mostly either A and C or A flat and C, and then these are moving in thirds, D, F, C, E, G, B flat, D. So that's already setting up the in the chorus, and then I think this chord is different, unless that would be really weird, but I doubt they do that chord.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds neat, but that's such a strange, like, E flat, sus4, add 6, flat 9. Actually, no, it's not even sus4, because what I'm playing has a major third in it. E flat, sub 6, flat 9, 11. It's super weird. Like, I was only thinking that because I think that was the chord before, and I do think the bass is going to E flat, but I think they might have clarified that a little so they could have the bass.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, yeah, I'm not exactly sure what it is.
105, 3, 2, 1.
Oh yeah, that is
okay, I
for
see.
the first time.
It feels like there's 3 layers for the bass. Because it's layered in with something more percussive. Almost like the low end of a xylophone thing. Marimba. That was Andreas.
Yeah.
You can hear that in a lot of his pre-choruses. He likes to add in those jazz harmonies and end on the esque. I think in summary for this song, there's a lot of chromaticism. There's a lot of cool sounds added in to create this very unique atmosphere while it has a lot of catchy rhythms.
Yeah.
That's what I think grounds this song, because the melody is playing a lot of different notes that we don't hear in usual pop songs. Like, it doesn't go to this kind of extreme harmony all the time. So.
Yeah. No, going back to Pose, I think this is a great example of great B-side wouldn't work as a title track. Melody's too weird to be a title track. Perfect
Which we
for a
like.
B-side. Yeah, it's perfect for a B-side.
like.
Like, it makes a great song, but it's not such an easy melody as I would expect a title track to have.
Right.